Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Sections of Clarendon under curfew. A curfew has been imposed in sections of Clarendon to help quell the violence. The affected communities are Cornpeace, Top Hill, Savannah, and Raymond. The curfew commenced at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, June 28, and will remain in effect until Friday, June 30 at 6 p.m. The police said the measures is necessary due to an upsurge in violence, which has resulted in murders and shootings stemming from gang-related activities. Without intervention, it is anticipated that the violence will increase within the local and spread to the neighboring communities, the police stated. The boundaries of the curfew are north along an imaginary line about 250 meters from the Webley Center of Excellence to New Village at east boundary, east along imaginary line about 4,850 meters from the northern boundary to land lease at the southern boundary, south along an imaginary line about 1,560 meters from the eastern boundary to Raymond's at the western boundary, west along an imaginary line about 4,560 meters from the southern boundary to the Webley Center of Excellence at the northern boundary. During the curfew, all persons are required to remain within their premises unless otherwise authorized in writing by the ground commander. Schoolgirl charged with public mischief after fabricating kidnapping $200,000 ransom. A 16-year-old Manchester schoolgirl who was reported missing has been charged with creating public mischief after she fabricated being kidnapped at a ransom of $200,000 made last week to cover up her out-of-parish trip to visit her boyfriend, police stated. The territorial officer for the Manchester Deputy Superintendent, Colin Johnson, in addressing a domestic violence panel discussion on Wednesday evening at the Mandeville Baptist Church, said the teen was charged last Thursday after being located and interviewed by the police. She actually went to a prominent high school in Mandeville and then left to visit her boyfriend in another parish, and she stayed over there with him for some time. She made some calls to indicate that she was kidnapped and a ransom was demanded. Based on investigation, we found her in a community in Greenville. She gave a statement, and she was also charged with creating public mischief, said DSP Johnson. Reporters were told that the teen was reported missing on Monday, June 19. 2 days later, the police found the teen at the home in Greenville. The incident has stirred rumors of a kidnapping crime ring in Manchester. The police sought information as to a possible location where she would be and went there, and she was found. She wasn't found in the company of any other teenage girls or anything of that sort. She was interviewed, medically examined, and reunited with her parents, said a police source last week. Dr. Kenneth Russell to represent PNP in Seattle. The People's National Party PNP has confirmed that Dr. Kenneth Russell will replace Lisa Hanna as the party's standard bearer for Southeast St. Anne. The announcement was made on Thursday, following news that Waver Hines was no longer in contention for the seat. In a statement, the PNP said Dr. Kenneth Russell has demonstrated outstanding commitment to public service and has made significant contributions to the field of education in Jamaica, and that his selection is a reflection of his exemplary qualifications, passion for community development, and his unwavering dedication to his country. The party has since urged its supporters to rally behind Russell as they seek to keep the constituency under PNP leadership. According to the PNP, Russell's vision, expertise in education, and commitment to community development make him an ideal candidate to champion the interests and address the needs of the constituents in Southeast St. Anne. Let us stand shoulder to shoulder and work to ensure that the voice of the people is heard and their aspirations are met, said General Secretary Dayton Campbell. Campbell said the party looks forward to Russell's contribution and the transformation he will bring to Southeast St. Anne. The PNP also extended their appreciation to other candidates who participated in the runoff from the Southeast St. Anne branch. Incest rampant in Trelawney, says police. Head of the Trelawney Police Division Deputy Superintendent Winston Milton has raised concern about an increase in the number of cases of rape of minors and incest in the division, and is urging persons to exercise more care for young children. Milton said that while other serious crimes like murder are on the decline, incidents of incest and rape have increased significantly. At Wednesday's town hall meeting hosted by Falmouth's Mayor Colin Gager, Milton said, in relation to the incidents of rape, we are particularly concerned because, in most incidents, the victims of this particular category of crime are minors. In comparison to the same period in 2022, there have been 70 or 27.8% fewer instances of rape up to June 24 this year, according to police records. The police are currently investigating 182 rape incidents reported island-wide. The country recorded 252 in 2022. The police noted that Trelawney now accounts for 7 of the national total for rape, up from 6 the year before. According to the deputy superintendent, in many cases, these perpetrators are persons of trust, individuals who are close to the victims, either a relative of the victim such as cousin stepfathers, and in some instances, sadly, fathers and neighbors. Milton gave the assurance that the police are diligently working with interested parties to disseminate information on the best way for them and their children to avoid becoming victims of rape. He cautioned, "We can be very trusting, but sometimes we have to take precaution to make sure that those we trust don't abuse our children." The Police Area 1 Division includes the parishes of Trelawney, St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland. There were 55 recorded rape incidents for 2022 among the 4 police divisions. Westmoreland registered the most with 22, while St. James had 21. Figures for Hanover and Trelawney were identical with 6 cases each. Area 1 has reported 30 rape cases so far this year, with Hanover leading all division with 10 cases, including that of 10-year-old Nikita Noel, also known as Jojo, of Kiwi District, who was raped and strangled near her home by someone she apparently knew. Trelawney and Westmoreland are tied for second place with 7 cases each, while St. James recorded 6 cases of rape. Businessman fined $100,000 out of season lobster. A St. James businessman found himself $100,000 poorer on Wednesday after a quantity of lobster was discovered in his restaurant outside of the prescribed fishing season. Jordan Bingham pleaded guilty with explanation to the charge of possession of lobster during the close season when he appeared before the St. James Parish Court. Bingham was arrested on June 8 after authorities discovered a quantity of lobster at his Rose Hall St. James restaurant. The weight had not disclosed to the court. In mitigation, Miguel's lawyer Jermaine Campbell said his client had the lobster before the close season but was unaware that he could have the date of the lobster recorded with the appropriate authorities. "I know these matters carry a particular fine, but I'm craving that the court's leniency in respect to Mr. Bingham," the lawyer said, adding that he did not waste the court's time. Presiding Judge Sasha Marie Simmons Ashley considered Bingham's easy plea guilty and an explanation provided by his attorney when the passing sentence. "You are fined $100,000 or 10 days, sir," the judge told Bingham before allowing him to leave the courtroom. Under the Jamaican law, the closed season for lobster fishes run from April 1 to June 30 each year. During the closed season, lobster fishing is not permitted, and it is illegal to even keep live lobster in any holding device. Lobster that are intentionally caught in the fishing gear must be released straight away. Offenders may be fined up to $3 million or imprisonment for up to 2 years, a penalty that went into effect in 2017. According to the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, anyone who intends to store or sell spinning lobster or its parts or products during the closed season must submit a signed declaration to the licensing authority by March 31. Following a fishery inspections visit to the storage site, a certificate of the storage will be issued. Spinning lobster is stored between April 1 and April 21, which have been declared to the licensing authority may be sold, exported, or processed within these 21 days. However, after April 21, it will be illegal to allow anyone to have any specimens of spinning lobster parts, or products in their possession. It makes no difference when the lobster is fresh, frozen, or otherwise. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the